Hey, what's going on, guys? Cody Sperber here, the Clever Investor, and today we're going to be talking about the COVID-19 crisis real estate game plan. Now, over the last week and a half, I've probably had 2,000 or 3,000 emails, direct messages, text messages, people calling me just saying, Cody, what is your feelings on what's going on the real estate market? How do you think the COVID crisis is going to affect real estate? What should I be focusing on right now so that way I'm prepared and I don't get hurt, or I can take advantage of the opportunity and the shifting of the market? How are you thinking about this right now? So today's video is going to be a little bit different than my normal trainings just because I am quarantined and nobody else is in my office. I've kicked everybody out. Over 60 people have gone home and it's just me. So I'm just going to roll off the top of my head. It's going to be a very honest conversation with you guys just about some thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. What are you seeing out there? Right now, you're probably stressed out because your job that you thought was so certain isn't so certain anymore, or you're looking at your bank account and you're like, man, I just don't have enough savings, or you're not able to rely on your family or depend on certain things that you thought were certainty. Are no longer certain, and I want to help you get more certainty by helping you take back control and giving you the strategies, the skills, and capabilities so you can move forward powerfully. So with that said, if you get value from this, smash the like button. Please drop me a comment down below and let me know kind of what you're experiencing, your thoughts, your feelings on the changing market. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. I've been in this business for over 15 years now. And I've gone through the ups and downs, and this is different, right? This is a major shift and something we've never dealt with before. We are sailing in uncharted waters. So this is my best guess based on my experience is what's going on and what I'm personally doing with my business and how I'm shifting things. So with that being said, let's dive on in. All right, first off, 3 things, okay? 3 things that you should be thinking about right now. So, before the COVID crisis, we were all kind of cruising along. I had 13 rehabs going. I had 2 new multi-million-dollar spec development projects just getting started. I bought land for $650,000. Is clearing the land. I had to tear down a house and I was going to build this big 6,800 square foot, mansion on it, and our beautiful house. And I had 11 plus rehabs. We were buying all the time. We were wholesaling all the time. Real estate was on fire, if you ask me. We had very, very high demand and very low inventory and low mortgage rates. The economy was great. The stock market was great. Everything was great. If you would have asked me 4 weeks ago, how do you think the next 2 years is going to play out? I would have said, look, I think we're safe. I didn't understand, and I should have, and I look back now and I'm pissed off because I should have just seen what's going on in China and the Chinese real estate market the second the COVID crisis started hitting them pretty hard, and everything just tanked. The stock market tanked, commerce tanked, the crisis got out of control, people's fears went out of control, government clamped down, real estate tanked. I should have saw it coming, but I didn't get prepared soon enough because I was in my little bubble and I thought we're here in America and we're going to be fine. This crisis does not discriminate. We are just at the tip of the spear and we're about to get just absolutely obliterated. In my opinion, this is much, much worse than we're giving it credit for. I see so-called experts coming out with all these articles saying, we're going to be okay. The real estate market was strong before this. We're not going to be that, bad. Real estate's going to be okay. No, I am disagreeing. I think real estate's about to get obliterated with the rest of the economy just because when unemployment goes through the roof, inventory now, nobody's trying to buy right at this second. Everybody's freaking out. Fears are causing panic and people are holding back. Money is being held on to as a precious commodity. We are about to probably go on a nationwide lockdown. Commerce has stopped. The stock market is tanked. People are freaking out. Now, I think real estate will bounce back a little bit just because people are going to move money into it because it's safer than a lot of the other assets. However, demand is going down and motivation to sell is going way, way up. And it's just starting. We are 2 to 3 months away from really understanding what's happening here. But I believe if a lot of people are unemployed, no matter how much money the government gives individuals, I think the economy is in crisis financially and a lot of people are going to get hurt. So with that being said, look what it did in Spain, look what it did in Italy, look what it did in China. It is coming to America. So, that said, what's the game plan? How do we make the best out of this? Leaders lead by setting the standard, by getting clarity and focus and getting a game plan and saying, this is where we're going, people, come with me. Right now, if you are a wholesaler, a rehabber, a landlord, you need to step your game up. Take ownership, take some control, and let's get a game plan and let's go do this thing. Don't be irrationally panic buying toilet paper and all kinds of crazy shit. Instead, pull your shit together and let's get a game plan and let's go and do something with this. In other words, let's turn lemons into lemonade. And here's how I would do it. This is how I'm shifting my entire business model, and this is what we're focusing on. First and foremost, okay, the COVID-19 real estate game plan strategy for a shifting market. Now, it might take 6 months for us to really feel the market shift. I'm not saying it's like an instant down market. Right now, people are like in limbo, but we will see it shift. All right, it has to. Too much financial pain. So first thing that we have to do is shift strategies. Okay, before this, I was wholesaling, and I had my wholesale team, and we were spending a lot of money on lead gen, and we were doing artificial intelligence, and we were doing some text message marketing, and lots of relationships that were bringing us deals. We were co-wholesaling, and we were just starting to open up some virtual markets and really get some traction in virtual markets. But I own a development company, and a lot of our money and resources was going into our development projects. Right now, it is totally time to shift strategies. I instantaneously, a week ago, canceled all contracts where we were buying more rehabs. That was my very first thing I did. I was like, nope, I don't care. I don't care if we're going to make $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. No, we're out. So we canceled a bunch of contracts. The ones where they were fighting us because we were already hard on our earnest deposits, we sent over a document that extended out the close of escrow by 45 days. Everybody signed it because they did the humanitarian thing to do. We pleaded to their emotional side and just said, look, we don't know how this thing's playing out. We're really nervous. And we only have like a few $1,000s in earnest deposits at risk. But we secured our earnest deposits by extending out close of escrow by 45 days. All right? So now we're shifting all of our money and resources. Okay, I even put the big development projects on hold. I said, don't spend another dollar. We immediately called every single one of our hard money and private money lenders and renegotiated with them. We were already at sometimes 7, 8, 9, 10% interest rates. So we had a decent funding or financial strategy to fund all these deals. Plus, I have a lot of my own personal money into these deals. Okay? And I called all the lenders and I said, we need to renegotiate. And I did one of two things. I said, either you need to lower the interest rates down to 6 or 7% for the next 60 days as a humanitarian show of love, or you need to, if you're stuck on that, you need to postpone us making you monthly payments and put it all the way to the back of the deal. So when we sell the deal, everybody gets paid. All right, so we did one of those two things. Almost every lender signed off on that. A lot of people dropped their interest rates. They were super cool about it. They said, look, we'll give you a 60-day window. And by the way, I'm calling all the hard money and lenders in town, asking them, what are you seeing? What are you feeling? What's your experience like? They're all feeding me the same information. There's panic in the streets. People are freaking out. The lenders are now restricting and saying basically, hey, you got to come up with a lot more money. You got to buy at a much bigger discount. We're already seeing the shift, and we're just starting this crisis. All right, so what strategies should we shift into? First and foremost, virtual co-wholesaling. if you're brand new, this is where I would start. Think about what's happening right now. There are certain markets around the country that are getting really hit by this COVID crisis. It's all over the news, 24/7. I would start marketing in those areas, right? But I want to say something real quick, guys. I thought of this thought right now, and I just want to make sure I'm very clear. I think we need to be more human now than ever. I think our ethics need to be at an all-time high. I think our integrity needs to be an all-time high, and I think we need to do the right thing as real estate investors. We cannot go in beating people over the head, taking advantage of people. All right, I want to say that because I think there's a right and a wrong way to do this. I know that I've seen a lot of these gurus say, well, there's blood in the streets. Go and get your money. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying do the right thing. But you can provide a valuable service right now to a lot of people. And if you approach this right, you create a win-win-win solution where everybody in the scenario is winning, then that's a great thing. And that's a valuable service, and people need money right now. And if all their money's trapped in their property, let's unlock it for them. All right? Virtual co-wholesaling. If I was brand new, I would be looking on the news, finding where the hardest hit areas are, and I would start testing little marketing in those areas. And I would pick the markets that I'm getting the best response rates. So the money is in the data, right? And the reason people like the Deal Automator here at Clever Investor is because we got great data. All right, the reason they go to cleverskiptracing.com is because when you get the best data and you skip trace it using the highest quality skip tracing, you get the best phone numbers and contact numbers. And I would be text message marketing, I would be direct mail, just little test samples, 100, 200 direct mail pieces. I would test some of these virtual markets, and I would see who and where I get the best response rates. And I would be testing my marketing messages. Are you affected by COVID? Did you lose your job, or do you need help in any way, shape, or form financially? Is all your money trapped in your house? Let me help you unlock it. I have multiple strategies that might work for your housing situation and your financial situation, and get people calling you and test out the markets. The ones where there's a huge contact rate, think about what's happening right now. Everybody's home. We're all in quarantine pretty much. So contact rate is through the roof. Motivation has increased significantly. So I would find the virtual markets that are opened up, and I would find the local wholesalers in those markets that already have a cash buyer list, and I would call them up and I'd say, listen, if I get some deals in your area, can you help me flip them? Do you have landlords and rehabbers that are looking for discounts on properties? And if they do, let's work together. So I would be virtual co-wholesaling. All right. I would also be shifting over, and I would do this locally too, by the way. It's not just virtual. Here in Arizona, we have ramped up our text message marketing. We have ramped up our ringless voicemail. We have ramped up our callers because everybody's home. We are going back through all of our old leads for the last 6 months, every lead we've ever generated, and we are now recalling all those leads, trying to re-engage conversations. We're getting a great contact rate, and a lot of people now are motivated and they want to talk. So go back through your old leads. Also, think about what else is happening in the market right now. The iBuyers, Opendoor, OfferPad, Zillow Offers, Redfin, all of them have pulled out of the market. They were the number one house buyers in the country, and they're now not operating for safety reasons. So think about that opportunity for mom and pop style investors like us. There's a service there that in a hole that needs to be filled. Let's go and fill that and take advantage of those opportunities. So I did this locally and virtually, but I would be partnering with people. And I'm going to explain here in a second what co-wholesaling is. But that's what I would be doing. The second thing I would be focusing on is creative deal structures. What do I mean by creative deal structures? I'm talking about right now we're in this 3-month limbo period where people aren't quite in panic mode, meaning they're not going to maybe they just lost their job, or they're being impacted, or they're an entrepreneur and they're having to let go of people or put people on furlough, or the pain is just starting. So it hasn't internalized yet. So it's going to take a few months. During this period, a lot of people subconsciously are motivated, but they're not fully motivated yet. So maybe they don't want to sell at a big discount, but they will entertain you doing a participation type of deal. What does that mean to participate with the seller? That means you can leave their mortgage in place and start making their mortgage payments. That means that you could do a sandwich lease option. That means you could do a subject to. You could do a wraparound mortgage or an agreement for sale. You could do a seller carryback if they own it free and clear. There's a lot of creative tools in the investor tool belt that you should be pulling out right now where you can get properties from people that are somewhat motivated. Subconsciously, they know they got to do something and they don't want to be on the hook for maybe these landlords. I'd be targeting landlords and just say, hey, you got 20, 30 rentals. Let me take 2 or 3 of them off your plate that are kind of stressing you out. You be the bank and seller carryback for me, or leave your loan in place and let me step in and take over management, repairs, payments, all that stuff. Now you don't have to come out of pocket very much. You can create these creative deal structures where you can get control of a lot of real estate right now at a discount, but not a super discount, and get a nice little stream of cash flow going. All right? Something else that's happening right now that's going to really motivate landlords is the government just came out and basically said, look, if there is a property that has a government-backed mortgage, meaning a VA loan, a reverse mortgage, an FHA, those type of mortgages, there are no foreclosures or evictions right this second. That doesn't mean those back payments aren't accruing. We don't know what they're going to do in the future. Maybe they wipe out the money's owed, but the reality is right now, they stopped all foreclosures and evictions. Well, these landlords are now sitting there with tenants that aren't paying. All right, so they're starting to get motivated. Creative deal structuring. So that's what I would be focusing on. I would not be rehabbing unless it's lipstick on a pig. I actually moved forward with a couple purchases for our rehab business where they were creative deals. The seller said, look, you don't have to give me any money. You don't have to come out of pocket any dollars to get into this property, and let's participate. I'll donate the property, which I own free and clear. You come in and do the renovations and then sell it, and I want this amount, and anything over and above that you can get, Cody. And I said, great, that's a great deal for me. I'm going to do a $20,000 lipstick on a pig. It's owned free and clear. I didn't have to come out of pocket anything, so it was a creative way to get into a deal. I'll put up the rehab, we'll sell it. I'm going to sell it for significantly more than the deal that I pre-negotiated with him that I get all the money over and above that certain number. So those types of deals are going on right now. Creative deals. All right, moving on. Number 2 is you got to get prepared. What do we got to get prepared for? We got to get prepared for the shift in the market. That's coming, guys. It's coming. Listen to me. It's coming. Don't listen. Don't think that they're going to shut down the whole entire economy and do all this crazy shit if they don't know things that we don't know. Right? The pain that's coming in many, many forms is coming. Like, it's coming. All right? So that means we got to get prepared. That means what's going to come down the pipeline? More distressed real estate coming through traditional channels like REOs coming from banks. REO stands for real estate owned, right? That's going to come back. Short sales, people that are into properties where they lost their jobs, they don't have a lot of equity, and now they're in a situation where they can't make their mortgage payment and they're freaking out because they have no equity and they can't sell it traditionally because they can't even afford to cover the realtor cost. And they're not willing to come out of pocket the negative amount that they would have to come out in order to sell. So they have to short sale. We have to go to the bank and find those real estate agents that are experts at short sales, and I would start partnering with them. I would start blogging about short sales and how to stop foreclosure and how to, short sale your property in your state, localize it, do videos, do social posts. Get out in front of this so that way search engine optimization can happen, and when people search for how to do short sales in Arizona, my name comes up or your name comes up. All right, so that's coming. Get prepared. I would review my local state's foreclosure process. There are typically two different ways that we foreclose. Either they do what's called a judicial foreclosure or a non-judicial foreclosure. Arizona is a non-judicial foreclosure state. That means that whenever somebody defaults on their mortgage, normally about 3 payments in, they file what's called a notice of default, which is the first time the public is aware that the person hasn't been paying. And then all of a sudden, 91 days later, it goes to auction. It either postpones, or it goes to auction, goes back to the bank, or it gets sold to a real estate investor. So I would review your state's process, learn where the auctions occur. Once we get past the COVID crisis, I would go down to the auctions once it's safe, and I would start meeting some of the players down there, and just, like we did in 2008, you gotta get familiar with it because there's gonna be deal flow. Right now, until this crisis, there was historically low deal flow. Now it's gonna ramp up. What else? We gotta get prepared for some marketing strategies to shift. So, in my opinion, one of the first major segments of the real estate market that's going to get hit, besides luxury and condos, right, or any place that has a big HOA, those are always the first two to get hit. But I think the short-term rental market is about to get obliterated. I think a lot of people had short-term rentals. They were heavily dependent on people traveling and conventions and vacations and that kind of stuff. That shit is not happening within the next month or two, maybe 3 months. They're going to start feeling massive pain. I would be going through all the VRBO listings, all the short-term rental listings on Airbnb, and I would be building relationships with those landlords, and I would get out in front of this thing so that way you are their first call when they decide to either do a creative deal or to just dump it. Guys, is this making sense? This is not like my other normal videos where it's like, really highly produced. This is me off the top of my head talking to you about thoughts I'm having because of this COVID-19 real estate crisis. Really a worldwide crisis. Is this making sense? If it is, smash the like button. Do me that favor. Do that right now for me. Show me the love. And also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I know this video is a little longer, but there's a lot of content that we got to cover. All right, so number 2 is to get prepared. Short sales, REOs, pre-foreclosures, the foreclosure process in your area. You got to get those strategies and those skills so that way you can go out there because those are going to ramp up. All right, what's number 3? Number 3 is find great partners. Now, I'm going to clarify the word partners because I don't necessarily mean like business partners. All right? I'm talking about right now the money is going to be in the relationships. Us local wholesalers need to band together. We need to join forces, share ideas, share thoughts, mastermind, lock arms, and do this together. If we do it together, and we're already doing it here at Green Elephant Development and Sell Quick for Cash, which are my wholesaling company and my development company. We've already called around to our good relationships and we said, look, we need to band together on marketing. We need to band together on data. We need to band together. Hey, you got old leads? Let us call your old leads. You call ours. Let's just all work together. Let's figure out how we can collaborate because the money is in the relationships. I would also be talking to grandma or anybody else that has lazy money laying around, and I would just say, look, grandma, get prepared. There's going to be a lot of money to be made in the real estate space coming up over the next year or two. I'm going to need some capital. I can help you invest your money. The stock market's too volatile right now. And by the way, I do think the stock market is going to skyrocket back up. I'm not saying don't invest in stocks. Clarify that real quick. I just moved $50,000 into the stock market yesterday. So, I'm buying stocks right now. You buy when they're low, but I'm not trying to catch a falling knife. I also want to clarify that. I am buying great companies that have taken a hit that I think are going to ride this thing out for the long term. And I'm also buying a couple new ones like, Zoom and Microsoft because of Microsoft Teams, like work from home type stuff. But anyways, that's a conversation for another day. Partners, find great partners. So collaboration, find those co-wholesale relationships that already have buyers. So that way, we can do co-wholesaling. We can invest in virtual markets and pull this whole thing together. So here, I want to show you how co-wholesaling works. So it's going to work like this. So first off, just quick review on what is wholesaling. And the reason I like wholesaling is because you could do it from home, from your laptop or your computer. You don't need a real estate license, construction knowledge, previous experience, a fancy watch, right? You could do this with very little resources, but if you got skills and you got the heart of a hustler and you're willing to put in the work, you can crack this code with my help, and we can get you, making some side hustle income from your house while you're sitting at home right now. So how does normal wholesaling, you got to understand there's two sides of a transaction, right? There's two sides. There's, I can't spell, acquisitions. I suck at spelling. Dispositions. All right, so there's buying and there's selling. So here's how it works. Over on this side, right, here's you, and you're now working from home because everybody's working from home. So what we're going to do is we're going to start putting out marketing, and we're looking for good deals, right? We're looking from homeowners right now that are motivated. How many more people are motivated right now than there was a month ago? Tremendous amount of more motivation in the marketplace right now. All those types of deals, short-term rentals, tired landlords, older people that maybe just inherited a property and they're looking at the real estate space and they're like, screw that, I don't want to deal with this. Free and clear houses, people that live out of state that are now really struggling to manage out-of-state properties. Like, there's a lot of motivation going on out there. And what we're going to do is we're going to, through our marketing, we're going to find these sellers. Let's try this. So through our marketing, we're going to get a hold of them. Text message marketing is on fire right now. Ringless voicemail is doing great. Direct mail is doing great. We're going to get a hold of them. Posting on social media is doing great. Everybody's at home, messing around on social. We're going to market to find these motivated sellers. And when we find them, we're going to put their house under contract. Now, let's just say it's worth $175K, but it's older, it needs some work. We get a hold of them and we negotiate, and it needs, let's just say it needs $40 to $50K in rehab. So it needs quite a bit. It's an older property. Maybe tenants have lived in it, they beat it up, whatever. 40, 50K worth of rehab. We negotiate with them just through the phone. Hey, tell me what's going on. Send me some pictures of the property. Tell me what you're dealing with. And we put it under contract, let's just say, for 90K in this example. Maybe it's worth 175 and they were asking for 125. All right, that was what they were asking for. And we negotiate them down to 90. Well, once we put it under contract for 90, up to this point, we haven't bought the real estate yet. All we've done is put it under contract, and now we control that real estate. And in the United States, when you put a house under contract, you gain what's called equitable interest in the property. And you now control this real estate for whatever period of time your contract says. So if your contract says 30 days, you'll close in 30 days for $90,000 cash, then you have 30 days. There's some details. And obviously, if you want more training than this, look at the description down below. There'll be some links in the description for more in-depth training in this contract and all that stuff. But once you put the house under contract, you control the real estate. Now what's going to happen, and that was the acquisition side of things. We now have a house. We have inventory. Now what's going to happen is we're going to turn around and through marketing or a relationship, we're going to find a cash buyer. Now, this is the person that actually has deep pockets. This is the person like me. Before this crisis happened, I had over $1 million, about 1.3 sitting in a separate rainy day account. I had other operating capital, about $700,000 in operating capital that I was using to turn real estate and do different things. I have a lot of cash. There's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines. There's a lot of people that have been waiting for the market to shift. And so we've been getting prepared. There's a lot of buyers out there, and there's billions of dollars sitting on the sidelines. And if a cash buyer, like if this is retail, right, and this is the median home price, cash buyers buy down here, right? They buy at discount. And that's why they're still there. That's why they want to buy. They're looking for good deals that they can buy at such a big discount where they can make money. A lot of them want rentals. A lot of them want, lipstick on a pig type rehabs and stuff. Easy rehabs. I've seen a couple people. I talked to my closing agent, and she said, man, we closed 4 or 5 big deals last week for people that were moving on development projects. So people still are moving. So anyway, once either through marketing or relationship, we find a cash buyer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip the paperwork over to them using either an assignment or what's called a double close. These are 2 closing methods that wholesalers use to flip the paperwork over. And let's say we flip the paperwork over to them for $100,000. So it's worth $175, right? But it needs some work. We got it under contract for $90. We flip it over for $100,000. Now, and let's say we use an assignment for this process because some states are making assignments illegal, like Illinois. Some states most states still allow double closes, and there's also private lenders and funders that will allow you to fund the deal temporarily if they know you have the whole thing lined up. But a lot of states, like 50 states, still allow assignments. So you sign it over, and when the deal closes, what happens? This house goes to the cash buyer, right? So they get the house at a discount. This $10,000 difference comes over to you, and you get $10K for just making some phone calls, sending some paperwork, getting it signed, calling your partner. And if you call a partner, you're going to split this money. If you do it on your own, you're going to keep this money. But let's just say you put out marketing, you found your own cash buyer. Okay, these landlords and rehabs are everywhere. You're going to make $10,000, and then the seller gets $90K. And then everybody wins. It's win, win, win. So if you are only focused on doing half of the transaction, this front half, the acquisition half, it's not that stressful. It's actually pretty easy. Flip it on its head, maybe all you do is build a massive cash buyer list in your local area. Use social media, use bandit signs, use direct mail, use networking, use all these different things. You build a cash buyer list. I have over 25,000 buyers on my list. A lot of people bring us deals to sell them for them. We probably close 7 to 10 deals every single month from other wholesalers, just co-wholesaling with them. And we do it in virtual markets. We do it in Tucson, which is about a little over an hour away from Phoenix. We do it up north, which is a couple hours away from where we live. We also do it in other states like Nevada, Minnesota, Florida, Texas, right? There's other states where we have strategic partners there, and we are doing the acquisitions, they're doing the dispositions. All right, here in Arizona, we flip it. People bring us their deals, they do acquisitions, we do dispositions. Is this making sense? Are you starting to understand that you can work from home with the right tools and education, the right paperwork, and do this business as a side hustle while you're sitting around and start making some income. Things are going to get back to somewhat normal, except for people will still be in financial pain. But we'll go back outside, the sun will still be shining, money will start flowing into the market again, people will start to come back to life, and everything will get back to somewhat normal, but there'll be massive market segments that will take maybe years, maybe even a decade to recover. I'm sharing this with you because I don't want you to feel stuck. I don't want you to feel like you're out of control and making all these crazy irrational decisions. This is your opportunity to take control. If you want help with real estate, I'm here for you. Whether you watch this on Facebook or YouTube or any of my other social channels, I hope you know the whole Clever Investor team loves you. We care about you. We're here for you. And we believe that now is the best time to get into the game. If you're sitting on the sidelines, you're crazy. You're going to miss out on a tremendous opportunity to make money and help people and do a cool business from home. I have systems, I have training, I have processes that go deep into this. Virtual wholesaling, co-wholesaling, regular wholesaling, creative deal structuring, generating leads, setting up the business the right way, processing the deals, raising the money, putting it all together, flipping the properties, creating a scalable business using virtual assistants. We've done it all. I believe with all of me that I've created more successful students than anybody alive today. Even some of the bigger companies, they might have a shot, but Clever Investor, if you look on our website, I got thousands of testimonials. There's a reason for that. All right? You got this. Keep your head up. Stay safe out there. Make sure you're self-quarantining. Do the right thing. Help people downline, right? Maybe you're healthy, but there's somebody out there that you're going to, by self-quarantining, you're going to help them avoid getting sick. All right? If you need me, you know where to find me. Smash the like button if you got something from this. And until next time, I am Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor. Signing off for now. Until next time, take care. Comb your hair. Sperber out.